Was the girl turtle's headband pink?
It was blue.
I thought it was blue.
It's a different, it's like a lighter shade of blue
Oh, okay, yeah. It's like a
than
lighter
Leonardo.
shade of blue than Leo's.
Yeah,
Because I was like, wait, girls are supposed to wear pink, right?
that I go to the toy aisle in any store, and you automatically know where the girl aisle is because it's just pink up and down.
Lazor Comb.
Greetings, fighters. Welcome to episode 96 of the Lazor Comb podcast, the show where we comb through random episodes of classic TV with a fine-toothed laser. I am, as always, Christopher Siege, one of your hosts.
That's right. And I'm uh Sub Neo, your other host.
And we're both coming to you live from Earthrealm.
Boring old Earth realm.
Boring old Earthrealm. What are the other realm? One of them is Netherrealm, right?
Outworld. And I'm sure there's more.
I mean, I know the company who makes the games is called Netherrealm Studios.
All right, we got Outworld, we got Netherrealm, we got Adenia, which we learned today. I don't know any others. I only know Adenia because it's in the episode we watched of the thing we're covering.
And what is that thing? That thing is Mortal Kombat Legacy.
They came from different places, different worlds, but they all came with the same purpose: to fight.
Fight for the Netherrealm in the Mortal Kombat tournament, and in return, I will help you find Sub-Zero.
Celebrate. Each one has a story. A reason to fight. To die in the ultimate tournament. This is how it all began.
I believe this is actually a first for the podcast because this is the first time we've ever reviewed a web series.
It's true.
Yeah. And the reason why we're reviewing this is because it was a pick by our patron, Chris. He chose Mortal Kombat Legacy. And if you want to pick a show for us to watch, you can do that as well by going to patreon.com/lazorcomb, LAZORCOMB.
Is there a chaos and like an order realm? They weren't really creative with the realm names there. Like there's Outworld, there's Netherrealm. Adenia's creative.
Earthrealm.
Wait, no, it's
know.
based on Eden. And Netherrealm's basically like hellish. Chaos realm, order realm, earth realm. But like the others are like Earth is a planet.
I want to
Right.
I want to see bureaucracy realm. The bureaucratic realm.
Yeah, I want to see mob realm.
Mob realm.
Mafia realm.
I want to see beast realm.
Anime realm. Beast realm. Probably not what you want it to be.
So you say beast realm and you think something pretty cool, but I have a feeling it would very quickly turn into something else. that isn't going to appeal to most
Let's
people.
just say there's a Venn diagram where one or the other, anime realm and beast realm, overlap a little bit.
Yeah, just a wee bit.
Just a wee bit. There's no hentai realm. That's a country. Hentai is a country in anime realm,
Uh,
which is a planet.
there is hentai realm, but hentai
Oh.
realm is a realm just made up of chicken Thai food.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's actually a pretty cool place.
Yeah.
Anybody that goes there not knowing what it is going to be sorely disappointed, but except us.
Except us.
We'd
Because-
be like, ooh, yum, 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 yum.
I could go for some Thai food. I came to the
I'm
right
getting Thai
place.
food after this.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. All right, so we got Mortal Kombat here. You know, everyone knows the rules. One realm tries to invade another. It's chaos. You can't just go about doing that. So the elder gods are like, hey,
Hey, test your might, bro.
test your might, face your enemy. Bada bing, bada boom. After a tournament, then you can invade.
Pay your taxes.
Die, repeat.
Yeah, it turns
Spell
out
everything with a K sound with a K.
it
Hard C, get the hell out of here. This is how the Elder Realms talk, by the way. Like wise guys.
Actually, on the subject of spelling things with a K, there's a band I've been listening to. I'm not super, super big on them, but I was really into them for a little while, about 20 years ago. I saw them live. I actually met a couple of the members, too. It's a band called Cataclysm, but they spell it with a K. And I associate the word cataclysm with that band so much that when I see cataclysm spelled properly with a C, it looks wrong to me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I know that it is actually spelled with a C, but like when I see it with a C instead of a K, I'm like, no, that doesn't look right.
Whenever I see the word combat, doesn't seem right.
Whenever I
What
see
I'm saying is we should get rid of C. We should just have S or K.
Okay, so we can we can get rid of the CH in my name.
Yeah, you'd just be Christopher.
Christopher.
Christopher. Yeah, I guess that doesn't work. No, it'd be KR.
Yeah, it'd be
K.
with a K.
Yeah.
Actually, because of that.
And no PH shit. F. It'd be Kristofer.
Two F's, in fact.
Christoph.
There we go. Change my name on
Christopher.
here.
Yeah.
Christopher. Christopher Siege.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, it wouldn't be pronounced Christopher. It would be pronounced Christopher.
Christopher. Yeah. And in this realm, what is this realm? Laser realm.
This is Laser Realm.
That's just there is no Christopher. It's a more common name, but it's Christopher.
Playing in the temples is just early 2000s new metal constantly.
Oh, constantly, yeah.
So we've got Immortal by Edema playing
Yeah.
in one fight temple, and we've got
I Stand Alone by Godsmack.
I Stand Alone
And
by
then-
Godsmack. We got Last Resort by Papa Roach in another one.
And it's just those three songs and
and
playing over and over.
Here to Stay by Korn.
Oh, there you go. There we go. That's
Yeah.
those are the elder god names, by the way. Those aren't the songs. Korn, Godsmack. What else did we fucking say? Adina. These are the names. Korn with a K. By the way, these are the names of the elder gods.
And Immortal by Edema was on the soundtrack to the early 2000s video game Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance.
So what we're saying is
We're kind of bringing this all together here.
praise the outrealm, outworld, what did I say earlier? Outworld, yeah.
Laser Realm.
Laser realm, yeah. Laser realm. Actually, maybe Beast Wars is in Laser Realm.
Oh. I think it would have to be.
It would have to be. eye lasers were invented in Laser Realm.
Yeah. Everyone has eye lasers. One of the elder gods is just Megatron.
It's just which Megatron? You mean Beast Megsy, right?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Beast Wars Megatron. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's just him.
And
Yes.
he has like a Bizarro, like dumb like version of him, like Bizarro Superman, but his version is Galavar from the comics.
That's just canon. We're not even making things up at this point. That's just actually Beast Wars canon.
Oh. He has like the sniveling like T-Rex Megatron from War for Cybertron as like his manservant.
Who even is? That's not even Megatron. What a disgrace.
I know. I think it was in the penultimate episode of War for Cybertron Kingdom where him and Justin Primal fight. That he actually seemed a little bit more Megatron like in that episode.
When G1 Megatron was not there, he felt more Megsy. Yeah. So Johnny Cage, did he cheat when he was fighting Goro? Because I feel like that wasn't Mortal Kombat. That was Mortal Bitch Fight. He tricked him and like shoved him off a cliff, man. I mean, I'm all for it because fuck them. They brought like Goro into the fight and he was like leveling up just by beating like nameless like Earthrealm fighters. But I'm glad that he did the splits and punched Goro in the dick.
In true Van Damme fashion.
Everyone knows you got to watch yourself around Van Damme. He'll do the splits and punch you right in the fucking dick.
Oh, you know a show we should review on here is Jean-Claude Van Johnson.
Yeah.
It's an It's an Amazon Prime show. It was only like 6 episodes, but it was quite funny. And like the plot of that show was that Jean-Claude Van Damme's entire like acting career is just like a cover and like an excuse to get him like traveling around the world.
I always thought that was funny
because he's actually a secret agent named Van Johnson.
I always thought that was a great premise. I've never seen it, so yeah, I'd be down for that.
He runs into another guy who looks like almost exactly like him, who is like the biggest like Van Damme like super fan.
Oh,
and he ends up like using him as a body double, but it's funny because this guy's like really into Time Cop, and and keeps and like it's been years since I saw it now, but he keeps making Time Cop references, and he speaks in this really like goofy voice.
Huh. You know who else speaks in a goofy voice?
Who?
Quan Chi. Christopher doesn't believe me, but there's another necromancer in Mortal Kombat named Crunchy. Well, his actual name's Quan Chi, and he teams up with Shang Tsung, and they snap Liu Kang's neck, and that's how they illegally invade Earthrealm. I can't tell you which one of the video games this was in.
Speaking of which,
but
what is Mortal Kombat anyway?
Mortal Kombat is okay. So two best friends who split. They were an entity called Noob Saibot.
Fucking noob.
Tobias. What are their fucking names? Tobias and Boone. I can't remember their full names, but this entity was like, you know, it'd be really great if like ninjas were fighting each other and like the blood splash and I don't know, let's just get like an 80s fitness instructor in there too. Her name will be Sonia. And it'll be like, you know what we'll do? We'll do like motion capture. We'll do like live action frames for the game. And we'll use the live action frames as the actions in the game, so it'll look like nothing else.
Which was
kind of only do that for like Mortal Kombat, like the first few Mortal Kombats.
Yeah, and a few games actually did utilize that technique. It was kind of novel at the time.
Yeah. I can't remember a lot, but like Clay Fighters, or maybe it didn't. Maybe
the Batman Forever game.
I always forget about that. I always forget about that. it's
so
iconic for Mortal Kombat, but
yeah.
games are trying things,
So yeah, there's been I think the canonical, like official number is there have been 12 Mortal Kombat video games now, but there's been a cajillion spin-offs. They keep jumping back and forth with the numbering sometimes. I think there's been like 3 games now that are just called Mortal Kombat.
that are just like a restart, that are just MK.
Yeah,
Yeah.
including I think the latest one. And but then there was also one like 10 years ago that did that, and then of course there was the original.
Yeah, and the in-betweens like Deadly Alliance. There was like a two-player like beat 'em up, not beat 'em up, but yeah, is that the genre where you played as Kung Lao and Liu Kang?
Was
What
that
was that?
Mortal Kombat Special Forces?
No, it was.
So that's
But
the
then
one that
there's
I,
Mortal Kombat. Then there's Mortal Kombat Special Forces. Thinking,
which is a very bad game, but you know what? I liked it back in the day.
uh, was it like a platformer or no? It wasn't. It was. What was that? No, that was Sub Zero. Mortal Kombat Mythologies. I remember playing that. Was bad at it, but you remember that? You played Sub Zero?
Uh, no, I never played this one. I played Mortal Kombat Special Forces and Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. They were both quite bad
Shaolin
games.
Monks. Thank you. I'm thinking of Shaolin Monks, where you play Kung Lao and Liu Kang.
So, main games. We got Mortal Kombat, which released originally in arcades in on October 8th of 1992. We got Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 3, Mortal Kombat
Mortal
4,
Kombat Turbo.
Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, which was the first Mortal Kombat game I ever played. And I'll
Oh,
get into that.
really?
I'll get into why in just a moment.
Oh, okay.
Mortal Kombat Deception. At this point, we're in the PS2 and original Xbox era, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Mortal
Long past
Kombat,
the movie.
Mortal
Zup.
Kombat Armageddon, Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe, which I remember was quite controversial back in the day because it was rated T and they took out fatalities to make it a little bit more um, all age appropriate because which was a mandate by DC. And then after that, we got the
Soft.
reboot from 2011 called just called Mortal Kombat. And then we got which is treated as the 9th game in the series. Then we got Mortal Kombat 10, and then Mortal Kombat 11, which I own and have
Okay,
played
so
a
they
fair
did
amount.
continue the numbering, even though that one was just Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. And then this latest one that just came out last year is called, about a year ago now, is called Mortal Kombat 1, which is intended to be another reboot. Which kind of makes sense because, like, if I remember correctly, in the story in Mortal Kombat 11, or like the expansion to Mortal Kombat 11, I think the all of like the realms are destroyed and like merged into like one like new like realm reborn.
And they call it Mortal Kombat Realm. Or they call it Final Fantasy, a Realm Reborn.
Yeah, yeah. And spin-offs, we got Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero, Mortal Kombat Special Forces, Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, and Mortal Kombat Onslaught, which is a mobile game.
Oh.
Now,
Don't even get us started in the movies.
we actually, if you, we did a commentary track a couple of years ago from the
We did.
1995 movie. It was the first time I'd ever seen it.
That's right.
So if you want to listen to that, go to patreon.com/lasercomb.
Okay, so look at the extras. Anybody on audio, sorry, but Siege's background is a scene from the movie. And the extras, the goons that are just there to like get their butt kicked, they're fucking giant ripped dudes.
Yeah.
And then you look at Sub-Zero and he's like this little skinny dude. Like his skin tight, like ninja outfit is like it's baggy on him. But I guess if you can just freeze a motherfucker, like you don't need to be too jacked, right?
Right.
But
There are
he's not. He's supposed to be like. He's supposed to be. What are they? He's not a ninja. He's Lin Kuei.
There's a
That's
lot more.
important.
There's a lot more Mortal Kombat live action media or like movies and TV than I expected. There's an animated film in 1995 called Mortal Kombat: The Journey Begins. There's the live action movie from 1995 directed by Paul W.S. Anderson of Resident Evil infamy. Not fame, infamy. Fucking bad movies.
Look at how jacked Sub-Zero and Scorpion are in my background here.
Yeah.
I think this is Deadly Alliance.
I think it is, yeah, because I remember Sub-Zero and Deadly Alliance didn't have the mask. I actually kind of like that version of Sub-Zero.
Isn't it his brother? Or I can't remember. But yeah, I liked that version too. It also has Kenshi and Bo Rai Cho. Who is that? Melina. Who the fuck is this guy? Cop Man.
Maybe
And
that's
Slipknot.
is that Jax? Maybe no. It's
Yeah.
not Jax. Maybe I don't know.
And this bitch.
So we-
and obviously Kano.
So we got another film called Mortal Kombat: Defenders of
Frost.
the Realm. We have the live action direct to video movie, the second live action direct to video movie, Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Ironically enough, I had seen that one before because when I was in high school, I dated a girl who really liked the second one.
The second one better than the first, huh?
She only owned the second one. She only had the second one on VHS. She didn't have the first one. So we watched the second one, and that movie had some of the worst acting I've ever seen in it. And this is when
notoriously bad, even for video game movies.
and this is like, I saw this when I was like 17, and I'm like, this is like the worst acting I've ever seen. We got Mortal Kombat Conquest, which is a live action TV series that I watched a little bit of back in the day. We got Mortal Kombat Legacy, which we're reviewing today for some reason. We got Mortal Kombat Scorpion's Revenge, an animated movie that came out in 2020, which I've heard is quite good. We got the 2021 live action film Mortal Kombat, a reboot, which I saw once and was kind of about.
Oh, I didn't know that existed.
Yep, came out in 2021. I watched it in a group thing on Discord.
Oh,
by amongst a bunch of
excuse me, princess.
bunch of people who were friends with my partner at the time. I was never asked to come back after that.
They're like, look at this guy shitting on everything we love. Get out of here.
Yeah, I can't even remember. I was like having a couple of drinks while we were watching, and I think I was just like making fun of everything.
There are some people who are very sensitive about criticism of the things they love.
And if you want to hear Cal talk about, and myself talk about that more in detail, you can go to patreon.com/lasercomb and listen to the Super Lasercomb Patreon Super Show. We got Mortal Kombat. These next ones are all animated movies. We got Mortal Kombat Legends, Battle of the Realms, Mortal Kombat Legends, Snowblind, Mortal Kombat Legends, Cage Match, which I'm going to guess is about Johnny Cage.
Get it? Cage Match?
Yeah.
Now, if they wanted to really go meta, it would be in a cage. And Mankind would show up.
Actually, hilariously, the cover of the movie is very like Miami Vice looking. So I remember Mortal Kombat coming out in the early 90s and being really popular. Fun little fact, the first commercial I ever saw for Mortal Kombat, I didn't know what it was, but it was all these people gathering in a city and raising their arms in the air yelling, "Mortal Kombat!" Now, when I was a kid,
I love this story.
Yeah, I've told Cal this before. And when I was a kid, I was like 7, 8 years old, something like that. I thought they were yelling "Mario, come back." Heck, legit.
Mario, come back!
Mario, come back!
Mario, come back! And you're like, where did Mario go?
Yeah, pretty much. I love in that 1995 movie too how like it literally just gets going right away. Like as it fades in, like the Mortal Kombat logo appears, and the music is just like dun 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 dun, dun like right away.
Right away. Yeah.
Right away. That movie wastes no time getting going.
That was fun. That was fun times. We have on the Patreon, you can see us do a commentary track
Yeah.
or listen to us do a commentary track for that movie.
Yeah, we've done quite a few of those now.
My desire when I was a kid, I just wanted to play video games. Any video games would do. And my knowledge of Mortal Kombat is always more than I want to admit that it is. I'm like, I don't really know into the lore or anything like that. And then I download this background and I'm like, there's Quan Chi, there's Bo Rai Cho,
Yeah, you definitely know more about it than I do.
there's Frost, there's Jax, there's Kenshi. Kenshi was in the episode of the web series we review. That's Kenshi, by the way. Ooh, how do you even know what was going on? It just kind of shows him fighting a weird druid guy. Well, I get ahead of myself.
We'll get to that. So I mentioned, yeah. So I remember the media blitz of like Mortal Kombat and it coming out and it being like super super popular. I wasn't allowed to play it because I've talked about this before, but anytime there was something on the news that told my mom that was going to like make kids like burn a house down or like karate chop each other to death or yada yada on the
Why
playground.
you weren't allowed to watch Power Rangers, probably.
Yes, I watched Power Rangers from the beginning, but then as soon as it about a year later, then as soon as the news was like kids are karate chopping each other to death because of Power Rangers, all of a sudden my mom was like, "No." So
On the West Coast here, that was a thing. There was this like urban legend of like, oh, did you hear that like somebody knows somebody who's like somebody died because they were imitating Power Rangers?
oh, it was on the news too. Like not as like
I didn't know that.
it was on the news, like people like talking about like not in like reporting on an actual incident, but it was on the news of them talking about how like basically they think this show will make kids do this.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
Good old conservative news
pretty much.
programs.
And at the time, I didn't realize that that's what it was, but now it's like, yeah, totally. But yeah, so anytime there was anything like that on the news, my mom like bought into it hook, line, and sinker, and suddenly I wasn't allowed to watch or play something. So I wasn't allowed to watch, or I wasn't allowed to play Mortal Kombat. Funny enough, though, this thing was always like hyper specific to what my mom was told on the news. So I wasn't allowed to play Mortal Kombat, but I was allowed to play Eternal Champions on Sega Genesis, which is just as violent. Just fine, because the news didn't tell her that it was bad.
Hmm. What you do is you have Mortal Kombat, you take the sticker for the cover off of another game, put it over Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Bada bing, bada
How would
boom.
she ever know just watching you play unless you're on the menu screen?
So because of all of that, I have a somewhat interesting relationship with Mortal Kombat. Um, in the original Xbox era, when Deadly Alliance came out, I was already like 17 by that point and doing whatever I wanted to. And so I had always wanted to play Mortal Kombat. And so when this new one came out, at first one in like 3D, I was like, oh, sick. So went and rented it and played the shit out of it.
Excuse me, princess. Huh. And that was your first Mortal Kombat.
So that was my first Mortal Kombat. Now I haven't played all of them. I played that one. I've played Deception, the one that came out after it. I played Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. I played Mortal Kombat 11 quite extensively, the one that came out about 5 years ago. And the reason why is because DLC for that game included characters such as Spawn and RoboCop.
And the Xenomorph and Leatherface.
Let's
Who
find
were
out.
those? Who were those? Because I know one of them almost has like a free to play model where like the alien is it, Rambo is in it.
I think
Spawn.
I think that was Mortal Kombat 10 that
I'm
had
thinking
the.
of 10 that has just like a crossover like killers.
So the Mortal Kombat 11 as DLC characters had the Joker,
Yeah.
Nightwolf,
Classic Mortal Kombat.
Shang,
Nightwolf, the helicopter.
Shang Tsung, Sindel, Spawn, Todd McFarlane Spawn, the Terminator, Fujin, presumably not the Fujin from Final Fantasy,
Presumably.
RoboCop, Shiva, John Rambo, Melina, and Rain. So yeah, so I bought the game because I wanted Spawn and RoboCop. And
Classic people that are known for fighting with their fists.
yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and RoboCop's actually a terrible fight character because he's very slow. In the movies, he's very slow and lumbering. So he doesn't move very much. He can't jump very high because he's really heavy. Spawn's fun to play as, though.
What? RoboCop's not fun to play as in a Mortal Kombat game? Crazy.
But interestingly enough, Peter Weller actually did voice work for that game,
Oh,
which was
okay,
kind of
cool.
neat. And then, indeed, last year, so I was like, sweet, Peter Weller's back as RoboCop. Sweet. And then last year, there was a RoboCop game that came out that was pretty decent that also had the voice of Peter Weller in it. So, whew.
But how much did you fap to Frost?
Which one is Frost?
Frost is the big booba Sub-Zero chick. It's been a while because I'm like, who's Slipknot? I don't know who that is. I barely remember this chick. I remember Kenshi. Who the fuck is this dude? And by the way, everyone, I'm not like looking this stuff up. Like I made a point to be like, I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole and like start looking up like all the realm names and the
You mean
character
like
like
I'm doing?
names. Oh yeah. Well, I just went off the top of my head. It's easy because they're like so like obvious. I forgot about Nether Realm though. You reminded me of that. I would have just said Hell Realm.
I was all about Katana in Mortal Kombat 11.
Ooh.
In fact, I have some screenshots of her in various positions.
Okay, Mary, fuck, kill, Katana, Sonya Blade, Melina.
Uh, Mary, Mary Katana, bang Sonya Blade, kill Melina.
Predictable.
I know.
What that mouth do though?
Sonya Blade
Probably bite
is
your dick off.
I was actually surprised in Mortal Kombat 11 just how like robust like the single player mode is. Like it's actually quite cinematic and the fights like integrate with the cutscenes and fights like integrate with one another like quite seamlessly.
I haven't played newer ones in such a long time, but I played the absolute hell out of like the first like Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3, Deadly Alliance, and I think Deception before I started wandering off.
Yeah.
And I played newer ones here or there, but not like to the point where I got all the characters or it used to be that you unlocked characters, folks, not pay for them.
Right. Yeah, the story in that game's quite interesting. Sonya Blade is a complete badass. But she's like, if I recall correctly, she's like modeled after and is voiced by Ronda Rousey.
Oh, yeah, the newer ones are looking pretty professional. They look pretty. It looks
Oh,
pretty good.
the production, the graphics in that game are quite good, even for like a game that came out like 5 years ago now. It still looks great.
Nice.
Um, and yeah, there's like some interdimensional stuff and like some timey-wimey stuff. You get like I think like the version of Johnny Cage that's in that game is like from the future, so he's like middle-aged and isn't a douche anymore.
Are you more of a Cyrax or a Sector kind of
I don't know what that
kind of
means.
cyborg? Oh, so when they were like, well, we've got a red and a green and a blue and a yellow and a purple ninja. Why don't we make robot ninjas? And
Robot.
you think I'm kidding? You think I'm kidding? This is funny talking to a normie about normie. Neither of us are normies, but like talking to, I'm not even making it up. So there's a red
Hey, there's
ninja and
robot.
yellow.
Circling back, there's robot ninjas in RoboCop 3.
I,
Ooh,
I
you know
believe
who
you.
else?
I've never
You know
seen
who
that.
else I liked in Mortal Kombat 11 was Scarlet with a K.
Scarlet.
That's worth
Scarlet.
googling some pictures of.
Mortal Kombat. Okay. So she's like a blood witch.
There's
I dig it.
lots of good cosplay of her out there too.
Is that who this bitch is? No, who is this? I don't know. I don't know who this chick is. It's been literally since that game came out since I played it.
Yeah, and I think Scarlet is a newer character too.
Yeah.
Um,
The modding, the modders, man. They got some stuff. You remember Rain? How about Air Mac? Now we're mortal. You remember Air Mac?
no,
No Air Mac. Okay, how about Rain? He could like shoot rain like at you and like or was that Air Mac? I don't remember.
no, I don't
So
know.
Cyrax was yellow and he had like green like bio weapony missiles and stuff. And Sector was red and he like shot missiles. Cyrax could like shoot a bio net at you, a nano net, if you will.
Wait, didn't Sector in one of the games like have like a targeting like reticle that would come over the screen
Yeah.
where he
And
could
you just had to move. Yeah.
yeah, to fire his missile. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I think he was in like Deadly Alliance or something.
Something like that. What is this? He's in one of them. Yeah. I remember when it moved to 3D being like, look at all how fewer characters there are. What like Mortal Kombat 3 with all the millions of characters?
That sounds like budgetary reasons to me.
Mhm. The move to 3D was in, man.
The move to 3D was in. So, that's us talking about Mortal Kombat as a whole, I suppose. But what we're actually reviewing today is the 2011 web series Mortal Kombat Legacy. Specifically, we are reviewing the 14th episode overall, which is the 5th episode of season 2. It is called Katana.
Amazing that it is multiple seasons.
It's called Katana and Melina, which debuted on the internet along with the rest of season 2 on September 26th of
I wonder
2013.
what this episode's about.
I don't know, Sub-Zero maybe?
My favorite
Sub-Zero and
part,
Scorpion.
my favorite part is being told instead of shown story, especially Mortal Kombat. That's my favorite. So you don't listen to them. You ever hear creative writing instructors be like, show, don't tell? Don't listen to them. Watch this web series and go, I've been doing it all wrong. What I should do is tell the audience the story while showing a random fight that has nothing to do with the story.
See, the whole show don't tell thing, it's more of a guideline than like a hardline rule.
Oh, of course.
But the reason why first year creative writing teachers tell you that is to get you trying to think cinematically, get you trying to think how to tell a story visually as opposed to just with dialogue.
Yeah. Speaking of first year creative writing, not only do Siege and I have our first year creative writing education, so did they didn't. What I mean to say is perhaps who wrote the scripts? Siege.
So I looked into this.
He did.
And this episode has no credited screenwriter. Now, maybe the entire series doesn't either, but The story, three people are given a story by credit for the entire series. They are the director, Kevin Tancarowen. I'm butchering that, but whatever. John Bazer and Marshall Johnson. They are all credited as story by for the entire series, but not a single person is credited as the screen is given a screenplay by credit for this episode. Now that is against WGA rules. If someone wrote a screenplay for something, they have to be credited. The fact that there is no one credited, given a screenplay by credit for this episode, tells me this episode had no script.
What?
And
how dare you?
And
why do you need a script, Christopher, when we have like 30 years, almost 30 years of Mortal Kombat video games and history to draw upon?
And watching the acting and like the dialogue that's in this this episode, I have a feeling that the director and the other two writers, who again credited as story by, I have a feeling they had loose talking points that they gave the actors, much in like a pro wrestling kind of way, where it's like you give them talking points and then they just go out and like freewheel it. I have a feeling that's what's going on in this episode. Because because what the things that they say, people don't talk like that.
That's actually one of the first things that I pointed out to Siege when we were talking before all of this. I was like, humans don't give each other backstory in normal conversation, and we're to believe that they grew up from childhood together. They're the adopted. So Melina and Kitana are the adopted parents of Big Skull Man. What's his name?
Shang Tsung.
No, Shang Tsung's the necromancer.
Everybody Shang Tsung tonight. Everybody Shang Tsung tonight.
Who's the overlord of Outworld? Oh, what the fuck is your name, loser? He always wears a skull. Shao Kahn.
Baraka?
Yeah, sure. Baraka. Shao Kahn.
Baraka Obama.
Baraka Obama and Shao Kahn are their parents. But they haven't told them they're adopted because they're not quite, as we can see in this episode, they're not quite mature enough to handle that information. And they're sent to places to assassinate people. Melina, instead of just having a Baraka mouth, that race is called, oh my god, Melina's race? Question mark. Tarkatan. Oh, she's a crossbreed of Edenian and Tarkatan. Okay, Tarkata.
Oh, okay, and she's a clone of Kitana.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
See, it gets fucking wild. See, it's a big, you go down a rabbit hole when you start exploring this shit. But yeah, they're sisters. And they make jabs at each other that don't really like make sense. They follow Shao Kahn's like orders or whatever, and they're thankful. And Melina's like, hey, how could you question our father when he's dead? We're going to rule the realms. What more could you possibly like want? And then there's a flashback, or they go on a mission to assassinate just some old hobo in like a mountain or something. And instead of just being like, holy shit, are you my daughter? He's like, Kitana. And she's like, how do you know my name? Yeah. Getting ready to assassinate him. And he's like, oh, I bet you're wondering how I know that. I bet you'd like very much to know that. Oh, you look just like your mother. How did you know my mother? That's because I know that Shao Kahn isn't your real father. Well, how dare you say that? Yes, he is. See, your real father is none other. And then, like, presumably Melina, like, kills him or something like that. And as he's dying, he's like, "Oh, I am your father." And she's like, "Huh."
No.
It's so dry and quick because like the episodes are so short. It was like they must have like what I'm saying is everyone involved in this must have been paid like a pizza party or
Yeah, pretty
something
much.
because like you're like, okay, I guess, but is anyone watching this that doesn't know that about Katana? Is anyone watching this that doesn't know the normal? Like, what I mean is, nobody's watching this that hasn't either already played the games or watched a movie. Nobody's going like, "What's this? Mortal Kombat, huh? Guess I'll give that a try on YouTube." Like, nobody's going in this raw, right? Like, so the thing is, I kind
Unless you're
of
me.
think, yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, this isn't for people new to Mortal Kombat, and it
No,
certainly
absolutely
is not
not.
for people that are fans of Mortal Kombat or good production. But I
And
try
there's
to be nice. I try to, what, this it's like it's a fan show. So
there is some so yeah, so there's like we meet Katana in like this like temple or something. She's like having a flashback, and then Melina shows up and starts shit talking the fact that Katana's mom committed suicide.
yeah, and it's like she took the easy way out. She couldn't have been that cool.
Yeah.
What a cunt. And it's like, damn, bitch, you really want your sister to hate you, huh?
So and then they fuck off. There's a whole lot of shots of them just walking through like
It's forgetful. I don't know, a
walking
trail,
walking through, yeah, like a trail, walking
like a
through the
dog
wilderness.
park,
Yeah.
like a
No,
walking
it
near a
straight
dog
up
park.
is like guaranteed. This is just like some park in California.
But meanwhile, Kenshi is fighting a druid. Kenshi, he's a dude with samurai sword, and he's blind, but he's got psychic powers, and
Johnny Cage
because
shows up.
he's. And I get, is that Johnny Cage? I guess he's accidentally in this realm.
See, I guessed that it was Johnny Cage. I'm like, oh, I don't
He
know,
takes off his sunglasses, so it's got to be Johnny Cage.
generic looking white dude in aviators. I'm like, that's got to be Johnny Cage. And indeed, I looked it up on Wikipedia, and it is Johnny Cage. He's just there walking around. There's a lot of characters just walking around in this.
So Kenshi has this super good CG battle, and note to anyone fighting Kenshi, maybe if the blind ninja you're fighting is indeed blind, don't yell "Hiya!" with every punch you're making. Maybe just shut the fuck up and try to sneak up on him,
There,
throw something at him.
There is one thing that I found funny was that when Johnny Cage like looks over and he sees Katana and Melina, he gets this like really like "hello, ladies," like
Hello,
smirk
ladies.
on his face. That made me laugh.
And then Melina's mouth changes. She loses her human set of teeth. They recede, and then her Tarkatan like teeth come out. That's not how Melina. Okay. And she like growls at him, and he's like, "Oh fuck this shit," and he runs away.
See, having her have a human face most of the time is cheaper, and then just
Well, yeah,
CGing.
of course.
Yeah,
Or you could do what the video games do and put a veil over her mouth.
could do that too. But
I,
yeah, I don't know. This show is very cheap. It's very, very cheap looking.
and unfortunately, it doesn't feel like everyone's heart is even in it. Like,
Yeah, like you said, paid. Everyone's paid with a pizza party. The directing is competent at best. Like at best,
like
it's
I
not
want to
great.
like it, and but
The cinematography is ugly. Like I hate the way this looks. The visual effects aren't great. It's clearly like web series, like early 2010s web series budget, which whatever, it is what it is. But nothing really, like I said, there's a whole lot of just characters walking around in the wilderness in this episode.
the
Like,
thing is, if you're gonna do something, spend time and money on it. Like, I would rather have like, like one fifth, one quarter, one half as many episodes, but make the episodes good
Yeah.
and delivering. It's either to the fans that already know the information that Katana and Melina are telling us in a really cheesy, terrible flashback. So what I'm saying is bring something new or make what the audience knows, make it a natural part of the story. But
Right.
to just deliver the, oh, did you know that Shao Kahn, like, oh, Shao Kahn's not really Katana's father. Ooh, where's this gonna go? It's only, it's not interesting unless it has repercussions. And maybe calling it now, we just landed on a bad episode.
Could be, yeah. This show does have an interesting cast. There's hardly anyone in this particular episode that we're watching, but
Yeah.
like the first season had Jax was played by Michael Jai White, Spawn himself. And like Johnny Cage is played by, well, he's played by Casper Van Dyne in this season, but he was played by someone else in the first season. But Mark Dacascos plays Kung Lao. Mark Dacascos of
Yeah.
Iron Chef America fame,
Fuck yeah.
and
Fuck yes.
and the Crow TV show, The Crow: Stairway to Heaven, which we should review that sometime.
Which is no longer the worst Crow.
I would be willing to. I don't know. Like back in the day, like I have defended the show as being better than a lot of people give it credit for, but I also haven't watched it for like 25 years.
I've never watched it. Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe we could review that on the podcast soon. There was a Crow movie that just came out.
I have nothing to say of the Crow movie.
Yeah,
I'm tired of.
I haven't seen it yet, but
I never will.
I don't know. I'll see it when it hits streaming, but I'm not looking forward to it.
Right.
Sonya Blade in the first season was played by Jerry Ryan, 7 of 9.
That I did remember, and that is the only episode I've watched for reasons.
For reasons.
Let's just say she wrestles someone in the mud. Why didn't we get that episode?
Yeah, so everything we just described, that's literally the episode of the show.
And we understand it's web series. It's basically volunteers. It's all new people. The directors, like there's like no budget. Like I understand all of that, but like I've seen fan films with like use like on machinima. Here you go, red versus blue. It's Halo dudes going like this.
Yeah, just like bobbing their heads up and down.
So I'm sorry. A bunch of fucking nerds just doing this and like making like jokes and like skits together and putting that together. I'm sorry if that can have like some. I'm not asking for red versus blue, is what I'm saying. I'm just saying you can't be this bad, guys. Please.
Well, and the thing is, too, is like this has like a fan film feel to it, but it's not. Like it has real actors in it. The guy who directed it, although I don't think he's a very good director, he actually after this has had a pretty lengthy TV directing career. Name a random network TV show. He's probably directed an episode of it. So the guy,
there you go.
And like this thing was like paid for by like Warner Brothers. It's a Warner Brothers IP, and like
they paid for it. You.
So like this should be better than it is.
And I understand it's just like, hey, they're 7-minute episodes. It's a web series. Like, come on, guys. But like I don't know, man. I swear I've made home movies better. Like with my siblings and cousins and stuff that were like more interesting and funny and shorter than this.
You know, something that I've noticed in a trend in like low budget filmmaking for the past like 10 or 15 years.
What's that?
Is in fight scenes, they'll add like a shaky cam effect, like along with like people like throwing punches and stuff, but it's not actually shaking the camera. You can tell they're just digitally like shaking the picture. So it looks weird.
Oh yeah.
It
Yeah, I
looks
don't.
weird.
Yeah, like an after. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it looks weird. Anyways, Kenshi beats the druid guy, and there's nothing left in the episode. We talked a lot about Mortal Kombat before all of it. I think it's cheesy. I like the writing for Mortal Kombat in general, not the show, right? Like it doesn't try to be anything that it's not. Something more than it is. Sorry. Um,
And like I said, the story in Mortal Kombat 11, the game is actually quite good. Like it's very cinematic. It's a very cinematic
oh
game.
yeah, and but as for this, I don't know. See, they're the police are coming. They're like, is somebody watching? What is this called again? Mortal Kombat
Legacy.
Legacy. I don't know why I can never remember that. Um, somebody watching Legacy. That's the Legacy police. They're coming to get me. But yeah, we got Earth realms to invade, laser realms to defend, and I don't know, cyborg ninjas to fight. Um,
So you just caught a random episode of Mortal Kombat Legacy. Are you gonna stream it again?
I'm gonna go back and specifically. Sorry, no, but you should go watch the Jerry Ryan episode.
Maybe I will. If that is the only circumstance that I'll revisit this show again. So I won't be streaming next time either.
No, no, I'm sorry,
Oh.
but you know what'd be more interesting? Us playing Deadly Alliance over like an emulator or something online.
Right. Well, that was episode 96 of the Lasercomb podcast. Best way to support the show is to go to patreon.com/lasercomb, LAZORCOMB. Starting at the $5 tier, you get access to our weekly bonus Patreon exclusive podcast, the Super Lasercomb Patreon Super Show. At the $10 tier, you get that. You get, we mentioned commentary tracks. You get those. And you get to pick a show for us to review a random episode of on this very podcast, much like our patron Chris did.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. we do want to like things.
Hey, if you're 90 episodes into the Lasercomb podcast, you fucking know that we want to like things. I also don't pull my punches like Sub-Zero.
But yeah, if you want to get in on all of that, go to patreon.com/lasercomb. Join the Discord if you want to interact with us. That's also a great way if you sign up for the Patreon. That's a great way to pitch shows for us to watch random episodes of. There's a link in the description, as always, to join the Discord. Never expires. Also, a link in the description for the Lasercomb TeePublic store. Go and buy one of our t-shirts. Yeah, Cal's wearing one right now. He's wearing a Too Much Energon tie-dye shirt. I like to call that
Sure.
I call that the Megatron Man shirt.
Megatron Man. That's good.
Megatron Man. Dear, 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 dear.
Remember when Goro grabbed Johnny Cage's glasses and like crushed them? And then when he lured him out onto the edge, he was like, those were $500 sunglasses, asshole. The Johnny Cage in this episode, he drops his own sunglasses. Johnny Cage would never fucking do that.
Well, that tells you what you need to know about the show in general. We will be back in 2 weeks' time with episode 97 of the Lasercomb podcast. Also, little announcement time. Starting with the next episode of the podcast, the show is resuming a weekly release schedule because we're taking a break from our. Right now, we jump back and forth between this and our other podcast, Too Much Energon, but that show's taking a break for a little while, pretty in the near future. So we'll be able to get to more Patreon picks faster, is what that means.
Yes.
So yeah. 97 the Lasercomb podcast. We're going to be talking about Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation. It's another Patreon pick. I used to watch this show back in the day, so we'll.
I might have here and there, not like watched every episode, but caught an episode here or there.
Right. So to figure out what episode we're going to review, I'm going to hit screen share and go to the old trusty random number generator. Now, I believe, yeah, it has 26 episodes. So one random number between 1 and 26. Now, there was a couple of episodes that crossed over with Power Rangers in space. I really hope we land on one of those. But we'll see. 5. Uh-oh. 5 is part 5 of a 5-parter, so reroll.
We gotta reroll. I don't make the rules.
19. Watch that be a 2-parter. Oh, no, it isn't. Like brothers. After an intense sparring session, Leonardo and Raphael argue while recalling the events of several episodes in this clip show.
Reroll.
Reroll. Okay.
Well, I mean, we don't do clip shows or like flashback episodes.
Episode 12.
I don't make the rules, folks.
Truce or Consequences. Wick becomes a fan of the Sewer Hour, Michelangelo's pirate radio show. After hearing a broadcast about rebelling against oppressive authority, the Dragon Lord enacts a plan to lure Michelangelo by pretending to be fans. Oh yeah, that's right. The show doesn't have Shredder in it. It's the Dragon Lord is their archenemy.
Right.
Right.
All right.
Oh, well, that's that. So we'll be back in a couple weeks with that. Until then, I've been The Siege, one of your hosts.
And I'm Neo Zero, your other host.
Thanks for listening. We will test your mic next time.